name is Yuri from Oracle Racing Esports, and as you might have been able to tell by the background, we are at a quite cool track here. This is Rudskogen. It's been added to iRacing, I think, before the last season. Second time the VRS is here for week 6 of the 2023 season. So driving the Lambo. Lambo will be good this week, I think. Same with the Audi. It's a high downforce track. It's quite tricky to drive. A lot of tricky corners. Let's have a look how this looks like on our hot lap. Alright, so here we are starting the lap. A very quick track. A lot of corners back to back, so it's going to be hard to talk over everything I'm doing. In the Lambo. Lambo and Audi will be the preferred cars here, I presume. The brake just before the curb on the right. Speed up here, accelerate early out of turn 1. Turn 2 this is. Turn 3 is very tricky because we're braking not in a straight line and the rear wants to start stepping out here. Get very loose. Keep the speed up here. And very, very patient on the power here. Anything on the throttle will make the car understeer. Over to the right. All the way to the left here. Use quite a lot of track. Double apex here, let the car run wide a bit. Angle the car out. Good exit. That's the lap around Rudskogen in the Lamborghini. Right, so here we are at the start of our lap. I'm just gonna start here, gonna run the car slowly over to the right side, and I'd like to brake just before the curb starts on the right and then bringing it over to second gear on the curb on the inside. And it's all about what kind of exit you get from this corner here. Not the first left one, but from the right one. First left one, if you go too far to the left here, I think if you touch the grass, somewhere on that, you get a slowdown, so you want to avoid doing that. Then you can run quite wide on the right side here without getting a slowdown, but you need to get back before a certain point. Where that point is very hard to know because there's no markers on the track. What I try to do is have my left side tires run along this white line here. Get the car to rotate. And then try to be on throttle early here. We're running a lot of downforce on this track. That means that we should have a lot of rear end grip from these medium speed corners. Means that we can go on throttle quite early, while we still have to turn the car a bit towards the exit. And then we got one of the most tricky corners in iRacing, in my opinion. This double right-hander here. You want to make sure to use all the road on the left side, so follow the curb on the left side. And then what I use is the 50 marker on the right side as a brake marker. I brake a bit before that. And then you want to be light on the brakes, because we're going to be turning and braking at the same time. And while doing that, we're going down as well, which even adds more weight to the front and less on the rear. All of that means that the rear is going to be very, very tricky here and is not going to want to follow the front that has more grip. So we want to be very slow on the brakes. Keep it low, try to keep the speed up. And if the rear starts going a bit, like it does here for me, try to catch that by slowly going onto the throttle. So don't just slam the throttle, but slowly go into the throttle to try to add a bit of weight to that the rear side. Just try to keep the speed up here. Gonna be running as far as you can to the outside to open up the next left-hander. And you can run quite far over the curb here. As long as you don't touch the grass, I think it's not a slowdown. You run a bit too far, you'll get a slowdown here, which can be very costly. Same on the right side. You want to open it up. And on the left side, again, the right side wheels need to be on the curb at least. Got this too much, you get a slowdown. In this corner, you don't gain too much of it. And this corner is a very, very tricky one, because it just keeps going, and the front starts dropping. Meaning that there's weight coming off the front. We're coming into the corner here. You want to keep a tiny bit of brake or no input at all. And you want to wait with the throttle. If you got too much throttle here, the car is going to want to run straight. So you want to be very patient before going to the power. See, the whole time here, I'm not going flat out, not flat out. And only at the exit, when I've done the whole corner, I can start going flat out. The next hairpin, I use this this tire barrier, whatever this is on the left side, and I brake just after the last one. So just after this last one, I start braking. Keep the car as far to the left side as you can to try to open up the right hand hairpin. And try to apex late and try to set up for a good exit, because we're exiting up the hill. That means that if we're slow here, the car is going to be very slow accelerating up the hill. So we try to get a bit of speed. The way we do that again is try to keep it very wide on the exit, on the entry, sorry, and try to apex quite late. So you don't want to be at this curb when the curb starts. You only want to be at the curb quite late in the corner, take a late apex, try to focus on getting a good exit out of it. I like to bring it over to the right side early. Bringing it over to the right side early just makes it a bit easier to press the brakes here without losing the rear. With the Lambo, be careful of shifting down to second too fast here. Shifting down to second has a lot of engine braking and make the rear very unstable. So braking to from third to second. Get to the inside. Again, close to the grass here. You can use a lot of curb. Slowly on the throttle. And same on the left side here. You can be very close to the dirt or even clip the dirt here without getting a slowdown. And you want to do that to try to keep the speed up here and get a good entry for the last corner, which is another corner. It just keeps going. And for the last corner, what I like to do is bring it in quite fast from the left side and then brake a bit in a straight line, and we start at the entry curb, but then we start leaving the entry curb. And we kind of turn a lot here on the outside. So it's not just to start the lap, this is how I do every lap. Bring it over to the outside, do most of your turning, and then slowly start getting towards the inside curb again, and then go for the second apex. And at this point here, because we've done most of the turning already in the middle of the corner, we can be a lot more aggressive on the throttle and take a lot more speed out of the corner than we would have been able to if we just followed the curb. And that was the last corner, and that's the lap around Rudskogen. Right, so as you guys can see, quite a small track, short track, not many overtaking opportunities, but very tricky to drive. Tricky to get the lines right. Hope you guys learned something, and if you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel.